Antonio starts right now.
A lot of people getting a light show overnight. Lightning, thunder, rain, heavy winds. Sarah Spivey has everything you need to know when it comes to the weather in just a few moments.
Plus, we're looking at power outages. I know at one point we were up to 48,000 power outages across San Antonio. Right now, we're at 22,367 because of those wind gusts we have overnight. But like Max said, Sarah Spivey is going to be updating us in just a bit. Hopefully, I mean, you're waking up this morning, you got a little bit of sleep. A lot of people woken up by those strong wind gusts, lightning, thunder.
That's right. So good morning. It's Saturday, June 3rd. If you're like us, probably didn't sleep much because it was loud.
It was loud. It was the wind that woke me up. I was like, what is outside my window right now?
So Sarah Spivey, is it done?
It is for the day. For most of the day today, we're going to be completely dry. But the reason why we're still seeing 22,000 customers without power for CPS is because of these wind gusts that happened. And a lot of these wind gusts actually happened in the wake of the storm. Wind gusts of 53 miles per hour recorded at the airport, 55 miles per hour at Lone Oak area, 52 miles per hour GMSA Randolph and Converse area, 56 mile per hour wind out in Seguin, 51 mile per hour wind in New Braunfels, and in Hondo with the actual storms that moved through out there in Medina County, wind gusts of 59 miles per hour. Now winds are calming. The storms have moved off to the east and actually completely dissipated. And most of today is going to be quiet. However, there is a chance in the afternoon for a few storms. And then late tonight, once again, we'll be watching out west as storms will develop closer to the border. Tomorrow, Sunday, in the afternoon, a few scattered storms possible as well, about 40% coverage. All in all, though, do not cancel your weekend plans. Just make sure you have access to the radar and a place to duck inside if you happen across parts of these storms that will develop. Again, we're eyeing tonight and then tomorrow in the afternoon. I've got details ahead for you coming up in just a bit. Sarah and Max.
Thank you, Sarah. Happening right now, San Antonio firefighters putting out the last of the flames in the city's southeast side. The scene unfolding at an apartment complex. Alyssa Cole staying on top of this story, joining us live from East South Cross, not too far from I-10. Alyssa, do we know if anyone was taken to the hospital?
Good morning, you all. 2 people were taken to the hospital, 1 person for burns, another for an alleged attempt assault before this fire broke out. Now, take a look at this area here behind me. It's not as active as it was earlier, right before the show started. Firefighters, they just left with their trucks, but investigators are still here on this scene, working to find out what was the cause of this fire. Here's what we do know. The crews were able to get the fire under control within minutes of arriving. 2 people were transported to the hospital, and as I mentioned, 1 person was taken in serious condition with burns, and another person was taken for a different type of assault. SAPD has 1 person in custody, and fire investigators are talking to him about the fire. As soon as we get more information about exactly what happened, we'll be sure to update you on our website. But fire crews, they have told us that during that incident, they were able to take everyone out safely and no one else was reported injured. But for now, reporting on the southeast side, Alyssa Cole, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alyssa. Also new this morning, gunshots at a soccer game on the southeast side of town. This one happening around 10 last night. This is Roland Avenue near Southside Lions Park. Police on the scene telling us fans of the game got into a fight. That's when shots were fired. 1 man shot in the chest, taken to the hospital. At last check, in critical condition. Officers searching the area, not able to track down the suspect yet.
Right now, the search is on for 4 shooting suspects following a drive-by shooting on the northeast side of town. It happened yesterday afternoon. Police Chief William McManus tells us there were 4 victims involved, 3 boys ages 5, 15, and 16, as well as a 60-year-old woman. At this time, we don't know the conditions of those victims. The chief says one of those teens may have been the intended target.
Drive-by shootings are always dangerous to not only the intended target, but to other people who happen to be in the line of fire.
We are told investigators have information about the suspect's vehicle, and we are waiting to learn more about that. Again, police are searching for 4 suspects in this drive-by shooting case.
Topping your morning headlines, the White House says President Joe Biden could sign the debt ceiling bill as early as today.
The president addressing the nation about the agreement in a primetime address last night, saying a crisis was averted and touting the bipartisan compromise.
ABC's Daria Albinger has the latest.
President Joe Biden speaking to the American people for the first time from the Oval Office Friday night after Congress agreed to raise the nation's more than $31 trillion debt ceiling, avoiding default.
The stakes could not have been higher.
The agreement reached with just days to spare before the government would have run out of money to pay its bills. The president touting Democrats and Republicans coming together to get the deal done.
I know bipartisanship is hard and unity is hard, but we can never stop trying, because in moments like this one,
the bill cuts the deficit by $1.5 trillion over 10 years, suspends the debt limit until 2025, and imposes new work requirements for some Americans relying on food assistance programs. It will also end the pause on repaying student loans.
it was critical to reach an agreement. And it's very good news for the American people. No one got everything they wanted, but the American people got what they needed. We averted an economic crisis, an economic collapse.
I think we did pretty dang good for the American public.
Despite the deal, the economy still faces potential trouble after one of the country's major credit agencies, Fitch, says the U.S. is at risk of a credit rating downgrade. That could make borrowing more expensive and send the stock market tumbling. The agency citing the repeated political standoffs around the debt limit. Daria Albinger, ABC News, New York.
Well, over 100 migrants from Guatemala sent back to their home country from El Paso. The flight taking off just yesterday. These flights have been happening in several border cities. Immigration and Customs Enforcement says the government has deported more than 43,000 migrants so far just this year, set to surpass last year's number at more than 72,000 migrants deported. Time now just about 6:07, 64 degrees.
Things are getting tasty here on GMSA. Coming up later this morning on Texas Eats, David Elder heads to San Marcos for a scratch-made spicy chicken biscuit.
So I think the foundation is Whataburger, better or worse?
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we're going to gauge it. Plus, there's a story right up your alley.
The recent rain means a bee baby boom. After the break, a look at that impact.
All right, if you're like us, probably didn't sleep too much, woken up by the strong winds, the thunder, the lightning, the rain. We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey, see if all of the wild weather is done for the day. Welcome back. Spring rains making hill country lush with wildflowers. Local beekeepers say that's resulting in a bee baby boom.
Love to hear it. Shelby Robertson is the owner of Honeymoon Farms, and she has been busy with calls from people surprised to find a swarm of bees forming beehives in unwanted places.
My phone hasn't stopped ringing for removals and swarms. They're filling up their honey stores, and when they do that, they're running out of place to have babies.
So the bees are busy pollinating, making food, and making more babies for their new hives. She says if you encounter an unwanted beehive, call an expert for help. If you have any questions, just head to KSAT.com. So Sarah Spivey, the question is, has this been enough rain?
You know, we're still experiencing some drought in some areas across the hill country, but I think this is very good for our weather pattern in the coming months. You know, summer is our hottest season. No duh. And you know, here's the thing, with the ground saturated from the recent rains, it's actually going to prevent it from getting as hot quickly. So that is some good news there. It's still going to be hot. It's still going to be humid. But maybe we won't have the 59 plus 100 degree days like we did last year. Okay, I want to start with a picture, and this picture is absolutely stunning. Sent in through our KSAT Connect feature on our weather app. This is sent in by Taylor McClelland. Notice the lightning branching out across San Antonio. And there's different types of lightning. There's cloud to ground lightning, there's intra-cloud lightning, and in this shot, you can really clearly see there's ground to cloud lightning. Notice how it's branching out across the clouds. They're absolutely beautiful. If you have pictures this morning that you'd like to send in to KSAT Connect, please do. We'd love to see them. There probably will be a few downed branches and things like that just because of the gusty winds. We have another another picture here sent in to us out in Uvalde. This was some smaller hail that fell when those storms moved through. With any storms that develop in the coming days, we're really going to not be too concerned about very, very large hail. It would mainly be gusty winds that would be the biggest threat, and of course all that lightning. And here's a look at last night's storms. They developed out west and maintained strength through San Antonio by about midnight. And so everything has since dissipated, but we are still going to be seeing on and off again showers and storms possible because there's a high pressure system to our south. That's going to be sending wiggles of energy our way, especially late tonight, tomorrow, and again Sunday night into Monday as well. Now, not everybody is going to be seeing rain every single time here, but it is an active weather pattern that we're going to be keeping our eye on. Right now, those skies are clearing and most of your Saturday will be quiet. 65 degrees outside right now, nice and cool in San Antonio. It's 62 in Hondo, 63 in Kerrville, 62 in Uvalde, 71 in Del Rio, 65 in Pleasanton, and 68 in Gonzales. Forecast highs for the day today, 89 in San Antonio. So even though we're starting off in the 60s, we're going to top off near 80 degrees. It'll be in the upper 80s out west and in the hill country. Neighborhood view around San Antonio, our average high is 91, so we're going to be close to that today. 90 in Converse, 90 at Stinson, 90 in Seguin, 91 in New Braunfels, 90 in Pleasanton, 90 in Devine, 89 up in Comfort. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast breaking it down for you, warming up to near 76 by 10. Again, notice it's going to be quiet for most of the day today. It's going to be pretty nice for enjoying outdoor activities, perhaps getting a jump in on summer activities, going floating, things like that. It's going to be fine. It's not until after 4 p.m. that we really start to introduce a chance once again for some thunderstorms. And here's how that could potentially look on the Futurecast. It's important to note Futurecast is not an end-all be-all. It just shows us that the weather pattern is going to become a little bit more active after 4 p.m. today. And we're going to be once again watching to the west late tonight as storms will develop out there toward the Rio Grande. And then storms may try to make it to San Antonio. They may make it or they may completely fizzle out in the overnight hours, but it's still a possibility, about a 40% chance of that happening. And then once again, starting the day tomorrow, very quiet. It isn't until the afternoon when we'll see some storms once again moving through San Antonio tomorrow afternoon. So just piecing that all together for you today, only an isolated shower storm during the day near 90 degrees. Then late tonight, once again, storms are possible. And then tomorrow in the afternoon, storms are going to be possible too, near 90. So do not cancel your plans this weekend. Just make sure to have the KSAT Weather Authority app handy. We have a radar on there. If you need to duck inside quickly because of a storm, please do so. Otherwise, I mean, it's going to be an active weather pattern. There's at least going to be a chance for some storms just about every single day over the next several days. Again, this is nice to start June with a little bit of rain because it is going to be very hot over summer. It'd be nice to delay the inevitable there for a while. And by the way, I'll have a look at rainfall totals coming up in the next half hour.
I like that the highest temp was 91 on the first week of June.
Not too bad.
I don't want to say anything though. You know.
You don't want to jinx it?
No.
It's okay. It's a forecast.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah. It's 6:60 and 64 degrees.
The need for blood donations continues here in the Alamo City. Just ahead, how you can help today and what experts are doing that could make a big difference.
All right, let's take a look at those lotto numbers. Pick 3, 2, 6, 8, Fireball 5, Daily 4, 8017, Fireball 6.
Cash 5, 17, 26, 32, 33, 35. Mega Millions 3, 16, 19, 36, 60. Mega Ball 25, Mega Plier 2. Good luck.
Good morning and welcome back. The need for blood grows in our community. The South Texas Blood and Tissue Center says they've reached a critical supply level for all types of blood. Roger Ruiz, friend of the show with Blood and Tissue Center, says the recent drop in donations, it's due to the summer break. High school and college blood drives, they are major contributions to our local blood supply.
So today you can donate at Millburgers Landscaping on Loop 1604 near Bulverde Road. Those who donate from 10 to 3 will receive a $10 Millburgers gift card. Very cool, I'm into that. And a tote bag. Donors are also welcomed at Morgan's Wonderland from 11 to 4. Those who donate there will receive a free ticket to Morgan's Wonderland and a tote bag as well.
And the need for blood, not just here at home, a fifth of blood centers nationwide, they have less than a day's supply.
4.5 million people will need a blood transfusion. As Ursula Perry reports, researchers are trying to create synthetic blood.
Every 2 seconds, someone needs blood. In fact, 1 in 7 people who go to the hospital will need blood. Because the demand is so great, researchers are creating a new type of synthetic blood inside a lab.
So the holy grail for transfusion is a dried artificial whole blood.
Bioengineer Susan Shea is part of the nationwide team that's working to make synthetic blood a reality. It looks like a powder, and it has the same components as human blood.
This product that we're developing will consist of a nanoparticle that is able to perform the function of a red blood cell, so it can deliver oxygen.
The synthetic blood does not have to match the patient's blood type.
The cellular components are artificial, and they therefore will not express those markers that recipients might have an adverse reaction to, as they would if they received a type mismatched blood donation.
And unlike donated blood that has a shelf life of up to 42 days, ideally, the synthetic blood could last months, even years. It does not need to be refrigerated, so it can be used not only in hospitals, but ambulances, rescue helicopters, and war zones, places where it's difficult to have blood readily available.
I don't know that we can guarantee that this product alone will eliminate the blood shortage, but it's certainly a very important step forward.
Just 1 pint of blood will save up to 3 people, but only 37% of the population in the U.S. is eligible to donate blood. And even then, only 10% of us do. So if you're over 110 pounds, over 17 years old, and you're healthy, you're eligible. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
All right, so I want to say both Sarah and I have donated blood here, South Texas Blood and Tissue Center. It is so easy.
They make it super comfortable too.
They do.
You know, it's, the AC's in there. They put a blanket on you. You're laying down. You get to watch a movie. I've done platelets a couple of times.
There you go. And if the incentive of saving lives isn't enough, you actually get like gift cards, like Sarah was talking about. There is incentives to go help save lives. But for now, time is 6:22. 64 degrees.
Okay, let's take a look at the roads with TransGuide. Definitely still some puddles on the ground. Those roads are slick. We're not seeing any incidents pop up on our end, but if anything does, we will let you know about it. In your morning medical news, a new study found a simple hysterectomy could be the best way to treat cervical cancer. Until now, a radical hysterectomy was the traditional treatment for cervical cancer for women at low risk of progression. The new study showed patients with the simpler surgery had fewer complications and a better quality of life. And they seem to remain as cancer-free as those who had a radical surgery. It also showed patients with the simpler surgery had fewer complications and a better quality of life.
All right, experts also saying a new trial finding the drug Kisqali could be used to help early stage patients with the most common type of breast cancer cancer-free for the rest of their lives. This is amazing news. Results show it actually cut the risk of cancer from coming back. When added to endocrine therapy, it reduced the risk of recurrence by a whopping 25%, and more than 90% of the patients were cancer-free after 3 years. And it is really amazing. I was actually just watching a report from, I think, 2018. And that's when they first introduced the drug. And just the progression we've seen, I know 5-6 years seems like a long time, but I mean, that could be a miracle drug. We'll
Awesome.
see. Yeah. Time now, just about 6:28, 64 degrees.
Here's a look at what's coming up in our next half hour.
We're happy the family's satisfied that there's closure here, and having to meet with family members and friends and everything else who are grievously affected by these crimes, and they've been hurting, and we're happy to conclude it today.
The verdict is in, still to come. What's next in the case against Mark Cowerton and when his sentence will be coming down.
Good morning and welcome back. All right, so we've already gotten a lot of people on social media letting us know that they don't have power. I promise you we're far from alone. Checking the CPS outage map, just went down. A little less than 18,000 people in and around San Antonio without power this morning. We know CPS crews are out and about. We know it was more than 45,000 at its peak without power. So we know, as you just saw on your screen, it just went down. So we're monitoring. We will keep you posted if anything comes out and about, but I gotta say, if you're like us, you've been hearing the storms throughout the night, whether it was the wind, the thunder, you saw the lightning, a lot of rain. Welcome back. It is 6:31, and welcome back to you.
Thank you.
You want to talk about your trip at all?
I was off for 7 days in the Pacific Northwest.
Love it.
It was beautiful. It was cool. I think like every day I was wearing sweaters because it get down to like the 50s, 40s at night.
Anymore.
So it was difficult coming back. But Sarah, that wind last night, I mean, I know that's probably the reason for all those power outages. The wind was howling.
That is. You know, we did have some power outages initially with the thunder and the lightning, but it really was the wind that created some of these issues. And take a look at these wind gusts that occurred last night. Many of them occurring behind the storms, actually. Fair Oaks Ranch seeing a gust up to 52 miles per hour. San Antonio International Airport, 53 miles per hour. Stinson, near 60 mile per hour wind gusts. New Braunfels and Seguin, 50 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts. So this is the reason why a lot of people waking up without power this morning. But again, we have seen that number go down. CPS was at one point reporting more than 48,000 customers with power, now down to less than 18,000. Right now, though, winds are calm. Those storms have completely dissipated, and we're actually looking at clearing skies right now. 65 degrees. It's nice and cool outside, but just a little bit on the humid side. Now, when we look at the day today, it is going to be mostly quiet. So for most of the day, go out, enjoy your Saturday. 83 degrees at noon. It's after 4 p.m. that we start to introduce a chance for some thunderstorms, and especially tonight as we once again monitor some storms out to the west that have a decent chance of making it to the San Antonio metro area in the late evening and overnight hours. Southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour throughout the day today. Coming up, I'll be showing you the Futurecast tracking storm chances beyond today because we continue to have a chance for storms tomorrow. And we'll talk about rainfall totals and how that may have helped the drought situation. Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, an apartment fire in the city's southeast side. Alyssa Cole joins us live from East South Cross. That's not far from Loop 410. Alyssa, what can you tell us about the situation?
Yes, well, firefighters, they have wrapped up the fire portion. Of course, there's no flames involved, no dangerous action happening right now. That white vehicle there off to the distance, those are fire investigators. They're working to find out exactly how this fire started. Here's what we know. San Antonio Police Department has one person in custody, and fire investigators are talking to him about the fire. We do know when firefighters arrived at the scene, they were able to control the fire within minutes. When it comes to people being injured, we do know that 2 people were transported to the hospital. One person was taken in serious condition with burns. A second person was transported after some type of assault that took place during this incident. So a lot of moving parts here, a lot going on. Of course, there's crews here to help clean up some of the damage and debris left behind. And then you have the debris that was left behind from the storm last night as well. And then you have the investigators out here working. They've been out here for hours. If you have any information, please call San Antonio Police Department or the fire department. All the information's on our website at KSAT.com. But for now, reporting on the southeast side, Alyssa Cole, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alyssa. Also overnight, crews had their hands full with a couple other fires. This was the scene on Bluebonnet Street near North Walters. That's east side of town. We're told firefighters had to act quickly to stop the fire at this home from spreading to the neighbor homes. Fortunately, everyone made it out safely, though. Investigators still working through the morning, trying to figure out how this all started.
We're also working to get more information about this fire on the west side of town. It started a little before 10 at the Three Amigos Chinese food restaurant. That's on Northwest 36th Street. That's near West Commerce Street. Right now, details are limited, and we are trying to learn what caused the fire.
All right, now to a trial we've been really following closely since 2017, really the beginning of the trial, the Mark Howerton murder retrial.
He was found not guilty of the 2017 murder of his girlfriend and Trinity University student, Kaylee Mandotti.
All right, instead, he was found guilty of a lesser charge, aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury. Now, that verdict means he could face 2 to 20 years in prison. Howerton placed in handcuffs, taken to the Bexar County Jail, where he will await sentencing. The judge will decide that punishment, expected to happen in about 2 weeks. And a reminder for San Antonio voters who live in Districts 1 and District 7, you still have a few days left to cast your ballots in early voting for the City Council runoff elections. Incumbent Mario Bravo going against Sucor for the District 1 seat. And then over in District 7, wait for it, we're going to have video of her as well. All right, Marina Alderete Gavito and Dan Rosser, they are vying for former Councilwoman Ana Sandoval's office. Election Day next Saturday, right now on KSAT.com. We have a refresher on all the candidates, where, how, when you can vote.
Happening today, Judson ISD is hosting its Drive the Bus job fair. Potential drivers can apply at the Rutledge Stadium parking lot in Converse from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pay starts at $17.50 an hour with incentives and up to $3,200 for eligible drivers. No experience is necessary.
All right, VIA introducing electric buses for the first time ever in San Antonio. It's all part of their commitment for cleaner and greener transit options. 8 buses in this new fleet designed and manufactured in California through a federal grant. Now, VIA received them in December of last year. They're going to have 2 of them in service for the public and for public use starting next Monday for test runs. They're going to operate on just 4 routes. And here's the cool part. They're going to hold 38 passengers each.
We also expect that electric buses in the next decade are going to become the dominant form, or one of the dominant forms of transit coaches.
That makes sense. VIA plans to have 6 of the electric buses in use by the end of this fall. Each seat will have a USB charging port for a better ride experience. All right, time now, 6:38, 64 degrees.
So to come, recall alert, what you need to know about some products you may have in your home right now.
Plus, oh my goodness, tracking UFOs. You heard that after the break, what the government now saying about tracking hundreds of cases. Sarah Costa, what do you think?
Are you a believer?
Oh my goodness, I love it. What is it, Ancient Aliens? Is that the show?
All the shows. All right, 64 degrees now. The calm after that pretty noisy storm we had last night, 6:38. Sarah Spivey will let us know if any more rain is expected later today.
This one, it's like a biscuit sandwich. Talk to me about what's going on.
All right, so we got a house-made biscuit. We cut that in half, and it's got homemade honey butter on it, and then hand-breaded chicken tenders and honey sriracha sauce on those chicken tenders.
That's the bite right there. Oh, I love that. The biscuit has a really nice flaky crust on the outside, really tender on the inside. But I love the chicken. It's like a little sticky, got the little honey sweet on there, a little bit of spice on it. That is a great bite. Really like a southern quintessential brunch bite.
I'm in. I needed one. I need like 4 right now.
Yes. Okay. It may sound like science fiction, Max, but it's real life. The Defense Department says it's tracking more than 800 cases of unidentified anomalous phenomenon. Say that fast.
Got it.
Or they call them UAPs from the last 3 decades. We don't call them UFOs anymore. That's what they used to be known as. A team from NASA revealed some of their findings during their first public meeting this week.
While a large number of cases in Arrow's holdings remain technically unresolved, this is primarily due to a lack of data.
So the team says it will publish its first report on their findings in July. I know there's been a lot of stuff on social media going around about UFA spotted in, or UAF, sorry. UAP. I call them UFOs, sorry.
I think a lot of us do.
In New Mexico in Roswell.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, as a meteorologist, we get a lot of pictures of, hey, what's this in the sky? And, you know, a lot of it is oftentimes the Starlink satellites, which are the satellites that Elon Musk puts up there, and they're like all in a line, and they kind of look creepy when they pass by.
Or space junk.
Or space junk, yeah. We see that happen too.
Or aliens, yeah.
Okay, let's take a look out with how much rain we saw last night. So, yes, there were plenty of winds. There was lots of lightning and thunder as well, but there was also lots of rain. Here's a look at the rainfall from that storm. Anywhere you see these green colors, that's where nearly half an inch to an inch of rain fell. And you can see that just about everybody around San Antonio got some good rain, about an inch to half an inch of rainfall. There were those, unfortunately, that did miss out on the rain, but let's just highlight some areas here, like out near Hondo. There was about an inch of rain that fell. Near downtown San Antonio, about ½ an inch to an inch. But again, there were some holes here as far as rainfall goes, including out near the Leon Valley area, where about a little bit less than ½ an inch of rain fell, but still decent rain. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and circle this area of the most beneficial rain, which is again that ½ an inch to an inch of rainfall. We're going to go ahead and circle this. And what I want to overlay on here is the drought monitor to show you where the healthiest of the rain fell. So some of that healthy rain fell right along that extreme and exceptional area of drought up in the hill country. But unfortunately, areas in central Kendall County and up toward Gillespie County missed out on the healthiest of the rainfall. But we should see some improvement to this area just from that rain that we saw last night. So again, good rainfall last night for us around San Antonio, and still, unfortunately, some folks without power because of the gusty winds that we saw yesterday, but we are starting to see skies clear. And for the most part, San Antonio today will be quiet for Saturday. It's not until later on this late afternoon and evening that we start to introduce storm chances once again. 65 degrees outside in your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Here's how the day will stack up. We'll be looking at partly cloudy skies pretty much all day long. At 10, we'll be at 76. Noon 83. And again, it's not until after about 4 p.m. that we start to introduce that chance for a few showers and storms, especially out west. We'll be looking at a high right near 89 in San Antonio. It'll be 90 at Rio Medina, 90 in Bandera, 90 in Seguin, 91 in New Braunfels, 89 in Sabinal, 87 in Kerrville, 89 in Comfort, and 92 in Floresville. As I mentioned, tonight we'll be looking out west. That's where storms are expected to develop. Sunsets at about 8:30, and even around San Antonio at about 8 p.m. we still will have about 30% chance for showers and storms. Let me show you what I mean in the future cast here. This is a look at 6 o'clock. You can see that there could be some storminess up in the hill country. The future cast is good at showing the idea of what can happen, not necessarily the placement of these showers and storms. So keep that in mind. By about 8 p.m., that's when storms will be developing out west. We'll be watching them to see if they can hold on by the time they make it to San Antonio. With any storms that develop, both tonight and tomorrow, we'd mainly be concerned about gusty winds and localized heavy downpours, as well as thunder and lightning. But as we head into tomorrow morning, take a look at the forecast for us. Again, fairly quiet during the day, but it's in the afternoon hours, late afternoon and evening, that we could start to see some more coverage there, about 40% coverage of showers and storms on Sunday. So just putting it together for you for tomorrow, waking up at 68, at 85 at noon, and then 40% chance for showers and storms in the late afternoon and early evening hours, 90 degrees for the high for your Sunday as well. So not a lot of rain during the day today, but then again tonight we'll be watching out west. Then once again tomorrow in the afternoon, and then once again tomorrow night too. So you can see that we're in a pretty fairly active weather pattern where not everybody's going to get rain every day, but there is a chance for rain every day. Starting off June with an active weather pattern is great news because it means we can delay the inevitable, which is that 100-degree day, first 100-degree day that is probably, going to happen at some point in this summer.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, let's talk about the rain.
So, Sarah, I got to ask, we've seen a lot of rain, at least it seemed that way. Has it been enough? Are we fighting this drought in an adequate fashion?
Yeah, I just showed that really we have been taking a big chunk out of the drought just about every single time we get some good rain. So this is all good news for us. We could use more, though. We always could use a little bit more rain in San Antonio.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, time now, 6:48. 64 degrees.
All right, before we head to break, some big things are coming to SeaWorld this summer, something for the entire family.
There's Priscilla Karaman with a preview.
There are new attractions coming here to SeaWorld San Antonio, and today we're getting a sneak peek of what you can expect this summer. We're here at the construction site for Catapult Falls, the world's first ever launch flume coaster. This new ride will house North America's only vertical lift in a flume coaster and will feature the world's steepest drop in a flume ride. According to SeaWorld, each ride experience is around 5 minutes long. Catapult Falls is scheduled to open later this summer. Whenever it's time for a break from the heat, head inside Sea Star Theater for Imagine Ocean, where Tank, Dorsal, and Bubbles will take you and your family on an underwater adventure.
It's so rare, I think, to be able to sit together as a family and enjoy something that everyone gets something out of. So we wrote the show and created the show as an adventure for everybody. From an emotional place, I hope people take away the idea that everyone contributes something individually to a group, and that we're all worthy and we all should value that part of ourselves, and that friendship is the most powerful thing of all. This show, you have to really communicate and like the people you work with, because you're literally in the dark with them, and it's kind of like the ultimate trust fall. You know, you've heard of like trust falls. It's like the ultimate trust fall, because you know you're stumbling around in the dark, and if that person's not where you think they're going to be, it could be a problem. So everyone really tends to work together as this beautiful team, and it becomes a dance.
For more information on things to do here in San Antonio, head to KSAT.com. Priscilla Karaman, KSAT 12 News.
This morning, safety regulators are talking about fire extinguisher sold on Amazon.
That's right. It's one of the big recalls. It's what they're warning about. 12 on your side's Marilyn Morris explains why this and other things are being recalled.
They're a different kind of fire extinguisher, red balls that self-activate when thrown into a fire. But the Consumer Product Safety Commission warns they're dangerous because they can fail and don't have standard safety features.
They are warning not to buy several brands sold on Amazon. And if you have one, dispose of it at a hazardous waste site or a fire station.
Juicer recall. Empower Brands is recalling nearly 500,000 Power XL juicers because they can rupture while in use. Dozens of people have suffered severe cuts and even swallowed small pieces. The company is offering refunds. Before you tackle the yard work, 85,000 Ego Power Hedge trimmers are recalled. This is a cordless, brushless model sold from 2017 through 2020. It can start unexpectedly. Several people have been hurt and needed stitches. Contact the manufacturer. And if this is your child's scooter, park it. Jetson is recalling more than 15,000 Nova and Star three-wheelers. The wheels can come loose and fall off. Target sold these. Contact Jetson for a free repair kit. For more information, head to our website. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Time now, 6:55, 64 degrees.
All right, let's take a live look out the roads with TransGuide. The roads still drying up this morning. I know I had some puddles on my way in, so be careful if you are going to be out and about today. Don't see any incidents on our end. If anything happens, we'll let you know about it.
All right, before we head to break, quick live look at those lotto numbers. Pick 3, 2, 6, 8, Fireball 5, Daily 4, 8017, Fireball 6.
Cash 5, 17, 26, 32, 33, 35, Mega Millions. Let's take a look. 316, 19, 36, 60, Mega Ball 25, Mega Player 2. Good luck.
Good Saturday morning to you. Coming up here on GMA, major debt deal decision. President Biden's first Oval Office address to the nation overnight as he's set today to sign into law a bipartisan bill to prevent a U.S. default, what it means for Americans coming up. Plus, sea travel surge, how the cruise industry is booming and bouncing back from the pandemic, what experts say you need to know when making travel plans this summer. And Walk of Honor, how an HBCU and NFL team are recognizing one 14-year-old determined to get to his middle school graduation. We've got more on his journey coming up. You don't want to miss it. It's all ahead here on GMA.
All right, it's in the 60s right now. We're seeing clearing skies. Today, for the most part, is going to be quiet. But after 4 p.m., that's when we're going to introduce a chance for storms. 76 at 10, 83 at noon, 89 for the high temperature. And then late tonight, again, storms are going to develop out west. Much like last night, we're going to have to watch and see if they can end up holding together before making it to San Antonio. Otherwise, tomorrow, 90 degrees for the high. Again, quiet for a good portion of the day, but in the afternoon, that's when we expect some thunderstorms. While severe weather is, the chance for severe weather is relatively low, we are going to keep you posted. It's going to be an active weather week for us with at least a chance for rain just about every day. Hey, more on the tropics and the first tropical storm of the season coming up at 8.
All right.
Thank you, Sarah.
We're going to take an hour-long break. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here at 8 a.m.
See you guys at 8.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Police and fire crews both on the scene of an apartment complex investigating a fire and a potential assault, while one person already in police custody.
A soccer game erupts in chaos after a gunshot rang out. The latest on the search for a suspect, that's still ahead.
And if you're off to a slow start this morning, it might be because of last night's storms. We're going to be taking a look at some of the other effects throughout the hour. Power outages as well. More than 11,000 people still affected by power outages. We're also going to talk to Sarah Spivey, look at how much rain fell over the area and when we can expect more showers.
65 degrees at 8 a.m. Doesn't look like we had that rainstorm overnight. The sun is out. The clouds look clear out there. Can we expect another rain spout later in the day, Sarah?
Yeah, seeing some storms later in the day is entirely possible, especially after 4 or 5 p.m. So most of your Saturday is going to be quiet, but it's in the later afternoon hours and evening that we're going to start to look to the west once again. So a lot of people waking up without power, about 11,000 CPS customers without power. At one point, it was up to 48,000 customers without power. And here's the reason why. We saw some gusty winds behind the storms that even moved through. Wind gusts up to about 53 miles per hour last night at the airport, up to 56 miles per hour in Seguin, up to 55 miles per hour in Live Oak, up to 52 miles per hour in Northwest San Antonio Fair Oaks Ranch area, up to nearly 60 miles per hour at Stinson. So this caused some power outages, perhaps knocked off a few branches of trees as well. If you've got pictures, send them into our KSAT Connect feature on our weather app. I'd love to show them this morning. Otherwise, we're starting off cool, and as Sarah and Max showed you, it's sunny out there right now. 67 in San Antonio, 63 in Boerne, 62 in Bandera, and 68 in New Braunfels. Again, for the most part today will be quiet and near 90 degrees, but it's in the later afternoon, evening hours that we'll see some more storms form out west. It's still a question on if they can hold together to make it to the San Antonio metro area, but there is a chance for that. And then once again tomorrow, quiet for the first part of the day, near 90 degrees, but in the afternoon and evening, that's when we can expect some more storms as well. So don't cancel your weekend plans. Just make sure to have a place to duck inside really quickly if you do happen upon one of those storms. I'll be back with a look at some of your pictures. And of course, I'll walk you through not only an active forecast this weekend, but also in the week ahead as well. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, fire crews and police trying to get to the bottom of a fiery scene on the east side.
Firefighters tell us an apartment unit went up in flames, leaving one person with some serious burns. The San Antonio Fire Department says a second person was taken to the hospital, but they didn't get hurt during that fire. Crews say a person was injured after an assault took place. This was at an apartment complex near East South Cross and Loop 410.
Police did take one person into custody at the scene, asking them questions. Still not clear if anyone was technically arrested.
And police are trying to sort through witness accounts after a shooting at a soccer match. It happened last night around 10 in the 3600 block of Roland Avenue. That's not far from I-10 on the city's east side. So far, SAPD believes there were people watching the game that allegedly got into a fight and then it escalated. That's when someone pulled out a gun and started firing. One person was hit in the chest. They were taken to the hospital in critical condition. Police say that shooter ran off. However, several witnesses stayed behind and spoke with police.
Everyone's safe after a fire at a home on the east side. That fire, though, started burning out of control. At one point, crews were worried that the flames would spread to other homes. Firefighters were able to stop those flames. This all unfolding in the 400 block of Bluebonnet Street just after midnight. Everyone in the home and their neighbors making it out safely. Crews on the scene telling us the home where the fire broke out does have a lot of damage. Still not clear how this all started.
A 5-year-old boy shot and taken to a hospital along with 3 other victims after a drive-by at an apartment complex in the city's northeast side. And the people responsible are still free this morning. Police Chief William McManus tells us the 4 victims, a 5, 15, and 16-year-old, as well as a 60-year-old woman. We don't know the conditions of them at this point. Officers do not know what type of gun was used or how many rounds were shot. However, they do believe this wasn't a random act. SAPD Chief William McManus says police think one of the teens was the intended target.
Drive-by shootings are always dangerous to not only the intended target, but to other people who happen to be in the line of fire.
Police are looking for 4 suspects. They tell us they have vehicle information at this time, but want to verify the car wasn't stolen before releasing that to the public.
All right, blood banks once again warning about the urgent need for donors, especially locally. South Texas Blood and Tissue Center tells us they've reached a critical supply level for all blood types.
People see the tragedies and things happening on the highway, and that's only a small percentage of who needs blood. The majority of is for patients who are going through chronic illnesses such as cancer, who need our help.
So Roger Ruiz, friend of the show with the Blood and Tissue Center, says the recent drop in donations, it's really because of the summer break. High school and college blood drives, those are major contributors to the blood supply. If you want to help out, there are opportunities to do so today. Just head over to the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center website. And it really is so easy. Both Sarah and I have donated. It's fast, it's simple, you get out of there, and on top of the actual monetary incentives, you actually help save people's lives.
Absolutely, totally worth it.
Yeah. Time now, 8:06, 65 degrees.
Well, the transition from school to summer break may be a breeze for some students, but other children can find it difficult. There are ways for parents to help ease that shift.
And as the weather gets warmer, it is a beautiful day out here.
It's really beautiful.
A lot of people heading outdoors, but if you're one of the millions of Americans who live with asthma, this time of the year could be particularly difficult for your lungs. How summer weather can trigger severe asthma symptoms and how to help yourself out.
Heat, humidity, and thunderstorms, the cornerstones of a South Texas summer.
But this weather really could wreak havoc on those who suffer from asthma. All right, so the smaller the particles, the easier they are to breathe in. So if you're at severe risk of asthma this time of year, especially here in South Texas, very difficult for your lungs.
And there are other summertime triggers as well, including mold from heat and humidity and pollen from trees and grasses.
And we do expect pollen count later in the morning. I expect mold will be high because of all the rain. Now, doctors say it's important to know your triggers, pay attention to the weather around you. And I gotta say, I don't have asthma, knock on wood, but since I moved to San Antonio, my allergies have just gotten so bad.
I give Max a hard time about his sinus. He's like, oh, I have a sinus infection.
Another one. Just
like 3 times a year.
Yeah, no, it's really 2 times, and then my doctor knows. He's like, oh yeah, I was just waiting for you.
Oh, there you go, Max.
Perfect.
And you're right. We, in fact, just got the pollen count in. Molds are high. I've got to put the numbers in, but I'll show you guys that in the next half hour. First thing I want to do, though, is show some pictures of the storms.
So good.
Yeah, some of the storms were beautiful, but they created some issues here. And this is a look at a downed tree near Brandeis High School. So those storms did pack a punch, especially even after the storms moved through. The winds were still pretty high. And this is a look at that beautiful picture that Max was talking about, sent in from Taylor McClelland, and you can see the lightning strikes there just branching across the clouds. Another issue, again, remember there's a lot of people waking up this morning without power, and this is the reason why. You can see there's a tree here knocked to the side there along the power lines, and this is Braun and Tezel, so that side of town currently without power, but we do know that CPS is working right now to restore power to many locations around San Antonio. And here's what that storm looked like last night on the radar. Developed out near Del Rio and then actually made it all the way to San Antonio. This is going to be something that we're going to have to monitor the next few nights. These storms, once they develop, they kind of have a mind of their own as far as their movement goes. So it's all about watching the radar late tonight. And you can bet that meteorologist Mia Montgomery and I will be doing that this evening. So keep that in mind. Our best chance for storms is not until later on today into the evening hours when we see another potential for some thunderstorms there out west. And it's because this high pressure system is over Mexico right now. It's sending wiggles of energy our way in the upper levels of the atmosphere, which is allowing for those showers and storms to form. So when we look at storm chances over the next day and a half or so, again, tonight, tomorrow, and then again tomorrow night, that's when we have at least a chance for showers and storms. It's a big if they can hold together to make it to San Antonio, but it is a potential, just like last night. And just like last night, severe weather threat would mainly be for gusty winds and localized heavy downpours. 67 outside right now in the wake of that storm last night. 63 in Bernie, 63 in Rio Medina, 64 in Bulverde, and 68 in New Braunfels. It's 64 in Kerrville. Good morning in Uvalde. It's 65 degrees, still 71 in Gonzales, 68 near Stinson. Now, when we look at highs today, though, it's going to quickly become warm. In fact, we'll be looking at a high near 90 just about everywhere across south central Texas. 87 in Kerrville, 90 in Canyon Lake, 91 in Carrizo Springs, 91 in Victoria, 90 at Corpus Christi, and 87 in Eagle Pass. Looking a little bit closer to San Antonio, 87 in Bernie and Bulverde, 87 in Helotes, 90 in Seguin, 90 in Divine, 90 in Pleasanton, 88 in Uvalde. Looking at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, again, a steady rise in temperatures here. By noon, it'll be 83, and then it isn't until after 4 p.m. that we really start to introduce a chance for showers and storms with our eyes set to the west. Otherwise, it's going to be a warm day with a high near 90 degrees. Here's a look at that futurecast. Again, this is a snapshot of where the potential could lie. With these futurecasts and this weather pattern, paying attention to where these storms form is going to be very important, because this blob of storms could be further off to the west, could be further off to the east. It's kind of a crapshoot as to where these storms will start to form. But we know that once they start getting going, they could easily track east towards San Antonio, as is the picture in the futurecast right now at 8 p.m. tonight. Notice how that storm system starts to try to move to the east, could maintain its strength. We'll see a break tomorrow morning, and then once again tomorrow in the afternoon and evening hours, that's when storms could be possible around San Antonio. So just to put everything together for you in the weekend forecast, 89 degrees for the high today, only isolated rain during the day, but it's after 4 p.m., after 5 p.m. that we'll be monitoring storms out west. 90 for the high tomorrow, and again, another chance for some storms, particularly in the afternoon and evening. But do not cancel your weekend plans. Enjoy some time outdoors. It's just, remember, when thunder roars, go indoors. That's the key there. Otherwise, a pretty active weather pattern for us over the coming week. There's at least going to be a chance for rain every single day. And notice that, again, I'll have a look at the pollen count coming up in the next half hour. I'm also going to have a look at rainfall amounts from the storm system that moved through, how that could potentially continue to help out our drought.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. 8:15, 67 degrees.
So most students likely count down the days until summer break, but losing that structure may not be the best for all kids. Why keeping a routine over the next few months could be a good idea.
All right, let's take a look at these lotto numbers. Pick 3, 2, 6, 8. Fireball 5. Daily 4, 8, 0, 1, 7. Fireball 6.
Cash 5, 17, 26, 32, 33, 35. Mega Millions, 3, 16, 19, 36, 60. Mega Ball 25, Mega Player 2. No, Max, I did not play.
Okay. Is it over 100 million?
I don't even know at this point.
Okay, go for vacation. You don't even care about millions of dollars. We'll be right back. Good morning and welcome back. So the transition from school to summer break, obviously an exciting time for a lot of kids, but for others, that change can be really difficult.
And at times it can feel overwhelming for the entire family. CNN's Mandy Gaither has tips for parents on how to help kids cope.
From the classroom to the living room, this time of year can bring a whole host of feelings.
Some might be excited about the end of the school year and starting summer. Others might be a little uneasy. Some might be sad. And all of it's completely okay and normal.
Licensed therapist Jody Baumstein says to ask children open-ended questions, listen to what they have to say, help kids name their feelings, and then validate what they feel. In any time of change, Baumstein says keeping a routine is key. That includes healthy eating habits, staying active, and getting enough sleep. Keeping meals and bedtimes the same can help too.
When there's a lot of unknown and questioning happening, we don't necessarily feel the most calm or safe. But if we have a routine that's predictable and we know what to expect, kids feel a sense of comfort.
And while everyone's getting used to being out of school, stay away from other unnecessary stressors.
If there's something that doesn't really have to happen right now that could cause some extra stress on your child or the family, we just want to postpone that until we're a little bit further along, a little bit more settled.
And Baumstein says, don't forget to make time for fun.
Sometimes it feels like we don't have time for that, but those things actually make us feel more connected and more hopeful about the future too.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Good morning and welcome back. Over-the-top burgers on the menu at a new Rainfall spot. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, David Elder takes us there coming up at 10 a.m. on Texas Eats.
All right, so this is the Diablo burger. What's going on in this one?
The main feature in this burger is the homemade jalapeno cheese fritter. There's 2 of those on the burger. Southwest Ranch, fresh jalapenos. We have a pickled red onion, jalapeno bacon, and it's a blackened patty. Delicious. It's definitely our best seller.
Y'all don't play around on the sizes on there. All that loaded goodness. Come on. Here we go. Take the bite. Oh, wow. Spicy, cheesy, meaty goodness. This is like everything you want when you think of a spicy cheeseburger. Give me some love.
All right.
If it's not messy, you're doing something wrong.
I agree. And also the pickled onions, undefeated.
The pickled onions break up all of the like fat and I don't know. It's
It's delicious.
Yeah.
That's the important part. I was just talking to one of my buddies from SAPD Shouts, and he was saying it's a great weekend to have some red meat. So I was like, perfect. Brisket today, steak tomorrow. But I might now pivot and get a burger after this.
I don't know. My stomach is growling right now, so I'll take any of it.
My only gripe with Elder is he doesn't leave us samples. All right, time now, just about 8:26, 67 degrees.
All right, throughout the pandemic, we've experienced shortages of several different products, including important medications. How the FDA is working to make sure a cancer treatment is going to stay in stock for those who need it.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Saturday. Just about 8:30 this morning, and welcome back.
Thank you.
You were gone. Where was the vacation?
Went to the Pacific Northwest
Nice.
for almost 10 days.
Okay, how was it? Hiking?
Hiking was beautiful. The rainforest was beautiful. The Pacific Ocean was beautiful. But all of that, they also have a lot of rain and cooler temps, and that's basically when we came back. The rain last night.
You came back, the extreme rain last night. It actually knocked out a lot of power for people. We're going to take a look at that CPS outage map. All right, so at its peak, 48,000 people affected through the night. But right now, we know CPS crews out and about trying to fix the power for so many families. It's just over 10,000 people. So, Sarah Spivey, are we done with the rain, the wind, the lightning, and the thunder?
Not really, Max. And it's tonight that once again we're going to have another chance for some storms. However, most of the day today is going to be quiet. So go out, enjoy your weekend, enjoy time outdoors. Just tonight, pay attention to the weather as another round of storms is expected. And the reason why we're seeing the power outages, this is a great picture sent in from Uvalde. Not a good situation, but a good picture sent in. You can see the power lines there at the top of your screen also being impacted by that down tree. And this is here in San Antonio at Braun and Tezel, where you can see that a tree is interfering with the power lines there. So that's why we've seen some of those power outages. And this is a look at wind gusts last night. We had a 59-mile-per-hour wind gust in Hondo, 55-mile-per-hour wind gusts at Live Oak, 52-mile-per-hour wind gusts at GMSA Randolph, nearly 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts at Stinson. Generally, wind gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour occurred in parts of San Antonio and the metro area. But now things are quiet and calm. And again, for most of the day today, it is going to be a calm day. Enjoy your Saturday. It's later on tonight that we'll have to watch for storms developing out west. And there is still a question on if they have enough oomph to make it to San Antonio in the overnight hours. 67 degrees outside right now. I do have to mention that because of the rain yesterday, molds are up. Molds are high, past 5,000. Pigweed is present in low amounts. Looking at your Saturday forecast, again, it's going to be quiet for most of the day. It isn't until after 4 p.m. that we start to introduce a chance for some some storms. We'll have southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour and a high near 90 degrees. More on tonight's storm chance and continuing storm chances into the rest of the weekend in just a bit. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. So happening right now, police on the scene of the east side investigating a shooting and a crash.
Alyssa Cole joins us live near I-10 and Roland Avenue. So, Alyssa, how does it look out there?
Yes, you all. I am on the east side. We do have some confirmed information from San Antonio. Police just came into the newsroom shortly. There was a shooting that happened here off onto the freeway. Take a look. This is I-10. You can see the tow truck here. It just arrived a few moments ago to pick up that damaged pickup truck. When we drove by earlier to get a closer look, we could see that it was carrying a lot of supplies in the bed of the truck. We did not see anyone inside. There was a heavier police presence here earlier. There was also another vehicle here. We're not sure if that was family or if that vehicle was also involved in the incident, but we have been told it was a confirmed shooting. No one was hit, and as you can see, it is still an active scene. We do know there was some activity here later or earlier, just a few days ago. There was also a shooting. We have no idea if those incidents are related. We are working with police right now to find out more details, to find out exactly what happened here. But for now, reporting on the east side, Alyssa Cole, KSAT 12 News.
Alyssa, thank you. Rescuers in India have found no more survivors in the wreckage of 2 passenger trains. Those trains derailed, killing more than 280 people and injuring hundreds. It's one of the country's deadliest rail crashes in decades. Chaotic scenes erupted after the derailment last night. Rescuers climbed on top of the wrecked trains to break open doors and windows using cutting torches. Fire officials say at least 280 bodies have been recovered and some 900 people were injured.
Well, the U.S. FDA working with a Chinese drug maker trying to make a deal with an ongoing cancer medication shortage. So the agency will import the medication to boost supply, and a Canadian pharmaceutical company will contribute to it on a temporary basis. The FDA says the 50 milligram vials will be available for order by healthcare providers starting Tuesday. It's an injectable medication that treats testicular cancer as well as bladder, cervical, ovarian, lung, gastric, breast, head and neck cancers. So really covering the gamut here. Hospitals across the United States dealing with a drug shortage when it comes to cancer treatments. Recent data shows about 24 chemotherapy drugs. They were an active shortage at just the end of March.
Well, transgender minors in Texas hoping to have gender-affirming care won't be able to get it in 3 months. This comes after Governor Greg Abbott signed a law banning it for most minors. The law stops healthcare providers from providing gender transition surgeries, puberty-blocking medication, or hormone therapies. Violators will be at risk of losing their licenses. There are some exceptions. Children already receiving non-surgical gender-affirming care before June 1st can continue their treatment, but they have to have undergone 12 or more sessions of mental health counseling or psychotherapy 6 months prior to starting prescription drug therapy, and they must work with their doctors to gradually stop the treatment over time.
Well, President Joe Biden expected to sign legislation to raise the debt ceiling, and it could happen as early as today. So this would prevent a potential crisis that could have led to the country's first ever governmental default and really send shockwaves throughout the United States and the global economy. Well, the legislation was passed by the Senate late Thursday night after being approved by the House the previous evening. The bill cuts the deficit by $1.5 trillion over 10 years. It even suspends the debt limit until 2025, and it imposes new work requirements for some Americans who rely on food assistance programs. It would also end the pause on repaying student loans.
The Biden administration is hoping to get Russia to the table for nuclear arms control talks. Earlier this year, President Vladimir Putin pulled Russia's participation from the START treaty, but the U.S. wants to draw Moscow back. A major speech Friday by U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan could push Russia toward those discussions. The U.S. is also starting to withhold notifications under the treaty, such as location of missiles and launchers. The State Department says it would reverse that action if Russia came back and complied with the treaty.
Well, kind of a frightening story to tell you about. The U.S. Secret Service implementing tougher penalties after a probe found its agents missed an intruder at a national security advisor's home, in part because they were using their personal phones. So back in April, someone was able to get past Secret Service agents, making it inside the home of this guy, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. An internal investigation found that the agents were distracted on their personal phones while on duty. They never even saw this intruder. The agents on duty that night and their supervisors likely to be subject to disciplinary action. Time now, 8:37, 68 degrees.
Well, this little girl and her mom started baking cookies to save a friend's life.
I was not a baker. She was not a baker, but we got a cookie recipe and we baked some cookies.
How their efforts are now helping thousands of kids and help even more going forward. This is an amazing story.
What's amazing, Max? Oh, that is not
That's
the
not
live
live.
look.
Not
I don't
live.
know what
It is-
happened there.
So we're going to tell you what it looks like outside.
I'm going to show you the amazing view outside.
It's blue skies. It's beautiful. The sun is out. A much different story than what we saw last night, and a much different story than what you're looking at right now. We're going to figure out why we're seeing, assuming earlier.
There it is.
There we go. Blue
There's
skies.
The beautiful blue skies. Sarah Spivey will let us know if the blue skies will stick around throughout the afternoon when we come back.
Good morning and welcome back. So if you're like us, you missed out on a lot of sleep because we had the light show of the lightning, we had the wind, we had the rain.
The wind was so loud.
Yeah, honestly, and a lot of people are waking up this morning without power because the wind knocked down some trees, which in turn knocked down some power lines. At one point, we had 48,000 CPS customers without power in San Antonio. At last check, that's down to 10,000, which is good, but there's still a lot of people without power. We did get some good rain, though, out of that storm system that moved through last night. Here's a look at the rainfall from last night. Anywhere you see the greens on the map is about an inch to, half an inch to an inch of rainfall. You can see that most of San Antonio saw about half an inch to an inch of rain. A little bit more than 4/10 of an inch reported at the airport. A little bit further to the west here, and you can see that there were areas out toward Uvalde that received up to about 2 inches of rainfall. I want to circle this area here that got the most abundant rainfall, just this area in these greens here. And I want to show you compared to the drought monitor where the healthiest of the rain fell. So as we turn on the drought monitor here, notice that a lot of that rain fell right over the areas of extreme and exceptional drought in the hill country. Unfortunately, there's still a good section of the hill country that is in exceptional drought that missed out on the rain last night, but we are entering into a more active weather pattern, and so we'll continue to see chances for rain for all of us in the coming days here, starting tonight. But first, again, it's beautiful out there right now. It's 67 degrees at the airport, mostly clear skies. Humidity's a little high, but it's not too bad this time of year, for this time of year. And looking at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, most of your Saturday is going to be quiet. I'm sure a lot of us have weekend plans outdoors. Go out and enjoy them. At noon, it'll be 83. In the afternoon, right around 90 degrees. It is after 4 p.m. that we start to look out west, where few storms are expected to develop, with a 40% chance for storms after 8 p.m. tonight. Again, better chances west of San Antonio, but much like last night, we're going to be watching those storms develop out west, and they may fall apart completely before making it to San Antonio, or they may make it to San Antonio and bring windy conditions once again. 90 degrees in Castroville for the high temperature today, 90 in Converse, 90 in Canyon Lake, 87 in Kerrville, 88 in Uvalde, and it'll be 92 in Floresville. So here's a look at tonight's forecast. Sunsets at 8:30. Around that time, there will be a few isolated storms out there, but it's after that storms from the west could make it to San Antonio. Scattered storms are possible as temperatures dip into the 70s. It's in this area in red here for counties west of San Antonio that could have the highest threat for severe weather. Once again, we're mostly concerned about gusty winds, and even some smaller hail is possible, but gusty winds are the biggest threat. A lot of lightning, localized downpours showers too. If those storms can move from west into San Antonio, the San Antonio metro area would also have a chance for those gusty winds again later on tonight. And the Futurecast tries to show you this here. Again, Futurecast this time of year, as far as position of these storms, it's a little bit difficult to nail down this far out, but it is something that shows us the trend. And it looks like 8 p.m. there will be some storms out to the west. They'll try to move east overnight, and then by the start of the morning tomorrow, it'll be quiet again. However, once again, tomorrow afternoon, there will be a few storms, about 40 to 50% in coverage. So a pretty active weather pattern for you, including the day tomorrow too, on Sunday, when we'll have 40% chance in the afternoon for a few showers and storms, high near 90 degrees. Take a look at that forecast. Again, there will be hit or miss showers and storms starting tonight, continuing during the afternoon tomorrow, and then even next week, a fairly active weather pattern. I had to put rain chances on the forecast for every single day in the next week because it looks at least possible. But there's something good about having some rain, having rain-soaked ground. It prevents us from getting too hot too quickly, so you'll notice you don't see any 100-degree days there. And by this time last year, we had 10, 15, 100-degree days already.
And you were telling me we're actually not even technically in El Nino right now. We're in a neutral.
Right. We're transitioning from La Nina to El Nino. Right now we're neutral, but it's amazing how that transition away from La Nina has already brought us a lot more rain than we've seen recently.
When we officially get an El Nino, could that bring us even more rain?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah. 846, 68 degrees.
We're going to take a look outside with the roads right now on TransGuide. That is 10 in Zavala and Loop 410 in McCullough. Not really seeing any incidents pop up. You can see the sun is out. It is clear. Looks like those roads are dry this morning. Earlier, I know we dealt with some wet roads coming into work. If anything pops up, we'll let you know about it. A recall alert now for 143,000 owners of a Lincoln MKC compact SUV. Ford says if you have one, keep it parked outside and away from other vehicles and buildings because it could catch fire when it's not running. The vehicles involved are model years 2015 through 2019. The issue stems from a battery monitoring sensor. Damage to the sensor could spark a short circuit that could lead to overheating and fire. So far, there are no reports of any injuries. If you have one of these affected vehicles, take it back to the dealership to get it fixed for free.
All right, when it comes to rare diseases, treatment options, well, it can be scarce. That's because big pharmaceutical companies focus their development on drugs that impact the most amount of people. But one little girl taking it upon herself to raise money to fund research into rare diseases. Leslie Hudson reports she's doing it as a child, one cookie at a time.
Measure, mix, bake, sell, repeat. This is the drill for 13-year-old Dana Perella and her army of bakers. They have one mission in mind.
You make cookies and it helps people. It can help people and I really like to bake.
It all began when Dana and her mom, Alexis, wanted to help their friend Mila, who was living with a fatal disease called Batan.
I was absolutely devastated.
They started baking cookies and selling them around the neighborhood.
She was so little, this little girl just pulling her wagon around trying to save the life of her friend. And it was really incredible.
It took me 3 months at first to raise my first $1,000.
In a year, that number grew to $56,000 raised for research. Doctors did end up finding a treatment, but it was too late for Mila.
So after that, I discovered that my friend Ollie had also developed a different rare disease. I did end up raising $30,000 and hiring a new postdoc researcher at the Stanford PANS Clinic, which was really, really cool.
In 2017, Dana started Cookies for Cures, a way kids can help kids like Sophie, who has a disease that makes her bones dissolve.
Sophie is like a younger sister to me.
Dana has raised more than $10,000 to aid in research for Sophie.
It's making a big difference in what we can do and the researchers that we can fund.
Through her nonprofit, Dana gives kids across the country an outline on how to make cookie pop-ups and is now working with organizations to create their own branch of Cookies for Cures.
it's extended much farther than the kids that I personally know.
Even while juggling life as a middle schooler, Cookies for Cures has raised more than $300,000.
Kids are an amazingly untapped resource. They have so much heart and passion and energy, and they want to help.
It's like kind of showing just like the simple act of baking cookies can help save lives.
It's really cool that a couple cookies can help someone that's sick.
Dana's goal? To someday have a Cookies for Cures campaign for every single rare pediatric disease.
If you try your hardest and you really want to make something happen, you can do it no matter how young you are.
I'm Leslie Hudson reporting.
Right now on KSAT.com, today is Free Fishing Day in the Lone Star State. Every year on the first Saturday in June, anyone can fish recreationally without a license in Texas. Texans will be able to fish in public waters throughout the state without a fishing license. Daily bag and size limits will still apply. Texas Parks and Wildlife Department says Free Fishing Day is meant to encourage more people to try to start fishing. Find additional details on KSAT.com.
All right, Sarah, you got 2 dogs.
Yes.
Both Spurs fans?
Of course.
All right, so if anyone has some dogs who are Spurs fans in your life, listen up. The Silver and Black, they're opening up a dog park, the Coyote Park at La Cantera. It spans 7.5 acres, known as the largest dog park in Bexar County. It includes, wait for it, an agility course so you can get your pups ready to compete. Walking trails, seating areas, a dog wash station, a play mound. It's also designated large areas for large dogs and for small dogs. The park on Old Fredericksburg Road near Loop 1604 and I-10 for a heads up on more outdoor fun in and around San Antonio. We have an awesome KSAT newsletter. You can subscribe to it. I think we send it out every Friday.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. We have lots of newsletters.
Today may not be a good dog park day because it's going to be super muddy.
Oh, it's a good point.
So even though it's like sunny outside, unless you're like willing to do the wash station afterwards.
They have the wash station
now.
Look at that.
Let them get all muddy and then you hose them off.
Shameless plugs. Time now, just about 8:57, 70 degrees. All right, more than 6.7 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's. And the local association says this year, there's about 400,000 Texans living with the disease and more than 1 million family members and friends who are caring for those individuals. Tomorrow morning on Leading SA at 8 a.m., we're going to be speaking with Greg Sciutto. He's the leader and executive director of San Antonio and South Texas chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. We're going to be talking about the organization, the medical advancements, and how the state legislature is addressing the issue. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, you can submit them right now. Just head to the Leading SA section of KSAT.com. Then join us tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. for the full conversation.